Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me this opportunity to make my maiden speech. Before I do, I just want to pay tribute to the Honourable Member for Southend, East and Rochford. He spoke of his and his constituency's proud military past, and I'm sure he will see his constituency through the tough challenges and onto a brighter future as well. It goes without saying, it is a great privilege and an honour of a lifetime to be here and to be elected by the people of Woking. I want to thank them for electing me as their Member of Parliament. However, I must begin by addressing this bill and the severe crisis facing my local authority, Woking Borough Council. Despite being a relatively small borough council, the Conservatives left Woking with over £2 billion of debt following making risky investment decisions. This legacy is one of negative equity, service cuts and unsustainable debt repayments. It could be argued that the Conservatives in Woking invented trust economics before the former Right Honourable Member for South West Norfolk had her small stint as Prime Minister. What has happened in my constituency shows you why this bill is so important. I fear without support from the new government, the situation in Woking, like the rest of local government, will only worsen, and it's my constituents will suffer the most. And that isn't acceptable when it's absolutely not their fault. I urge the government to step in and provide the assistance we so desperately need to ensure that my community can thrive and recover. When most people think of Woking, they might see it as a modern constituency, but it has a rich history that stretches back through the centuries. Woking was mentioned in the Domesday Book. Sutton Place, famous as the former home of Paul Getty, dates from 1525, and it's one of the oldest unfortified houses in the country. Woking Palace, now sadly a ruin, was a royal residence for Henry VII and Henry VIII. As a result of that, Woking Football Club, my local football team, is affectionately known as the Cards, after Cardinal Wolsey. Several Acts of Parliament have had an especially profound impact on Woking. As an example, the Basingstoke Canal was authorised by Parliament in 1778. That canal runs through much of Woking constituency. It has shaped our area, is a popular walking and cycling route, and is a haven for nature. But Woking, as we know it today, like so many places in our country, was shaped by the railways. With steam, stone and iron, Woking was cast into the proud town it is today. In the mid-1800s, we laid the foundations to become the great commuter town we are. Woking is also a wonderfully diverse and welcoming place, home to the oldest mosque in the country, the Shah Jahan Mosque. And we've got a vibrant Muslim community that has developed in the town as a result. More recently, we have welcomed Ukrainian refugees, and I attended many events to support our new Ukrainian residents with my predecessor, our former MP, Jonathan Lord. That was a powerful example of cross-party cooperation, and I want to thank Jonathan for his service as Woking's MP, especially on this humanitarian issue where there was no disagreement whatsoever. Although we were opponents in the last election, I wish him and his family well for the future. Woking's MP before Jonathan was Humphrey Mallins. Humphrey founded the Immigration Advisory Service in 1992, which to this day provides free asylum and immigration advice to those that need it. He got a CBE for his work. Woking has a proud history of electing MPs that welcome immigration, and I am pleased to follow that tradition. Our town is also known for its connection to McLaren, who hosts the Formula One team and build luxury cars there. I was privileged to visit there only yesterday, and I remember as a young child, around 11, watching with the excitement as McLaren toured the town with their Formula One cars driven by Mika Hakkinen to celebrate their success. And they are winning again, much like the Liberal Democrats. The town also takes great pride in being home to WWF. We have pressing issues like sewage in our rivers and the fight against climate change. And I'm already working alongside the 5 other newly elected Liberal Democrat MPs in Surrey to hold Thames Water to account for sewage dumping in our local rivers and streams. One of my first acts as MP is to bring all the Surrey MPs together to meet with Thames Water to petition them for improvements and a better service. Woking is fortunate to be surrounded by green spaces. I love walking my Dachshund Toffee in Horsell Common, where H.G. Wells famously landed his aliens in War of the Worlds. So it wasn't a great surprise when Ed Davies, Liberal Democrats, turned up and started campaigning with their out-of-their-world stunts. Of course, I'm only Woking. I wouldn't dare call my Liberal Democrat colleagues aliens. But Madam Chair, getting back to the matter at hand, my constituency has a much-loved local hospital, Woking Community Hospital. Despite feeling like I was born and bred in Woking, I wasn't actually born in the constituency. Actually, no one has been able to be born in a hospital in Woking for generations. I was born in Frimley Park Hospital, one of the nearby hospitals we depend on as Woking lacks maternity services. However, Frimley Park is plagued with RAC, and its future is far from certain. I will work with my honourable friend, the member for Surrey Heath, so that we can press the government for a solution for them to rebuild Frimley Park Hospital. Another major issue is the cost of rent and mortgages. As someone under 40, I understand these issues deeply, and they have been consistently raised by local people on the doorstep. The increased cost of mortgages and rents in the last 2 years is another further reason why this bill is so important. My journey into politics began because Surrey County Council's failure to protect vulnerable children. At the time, it was rated the worst county council in the country because of that failure. We cannot allow vulnerable children to be failed again. Madam Chair, the wider theme of why I was elected, indeed why so many hard-working Liberal Democrat colleagues have been elected, is that we understand the local issues of our communities. I have worked for 15 years in local government and served as Deputy Leader of Woking Council. I have seen firsthand the crippling issues some councils face. When I look at the faces of the Liberal Democrat MPs here, I can see people that have worked hard in local government for years. What a glorious theme for this new Parliament. A cohort of 72 that understand the local issues our communities face and a force for good when in this country and in this chamber when we need it most. Thank you.